So Friday, there was a church incident where a robber or a suspect who had gone over to church attempting to rob congregants at a prayer gathering in Mpumalanga. It turned sour for him. He went over there, I think, to try and do some. I saw some people posting about him saying no, he was a good guy. He might have just made a bad decision at this particular thing. They said no, he was a good guy. But in this particular one, unfortunately, people have been seeing the kind of stories that were going out there for the last 2 years about criminals walking into church and just, a pastor ended up dead. And so people are going to respond. And so Congregates actually posted this particular story on their Facebook page, and I wanted to talk about that. But that also reminded me of a situation that happened, I think, about 2 months ago, where a pastor was spotted waving something that looked like a gun when somebody had seemed to be following him or something like that, because they were kind of like waiting for him to pop up, and he had something in his arm and stuff like that, and stuff like that. And so I wanted to talk about those particular 2 instances to say people are going to respond. People are going to get tired, and even in church you will start to find people carrying guns, and they will respond. Now, after what they've seen out there, what do you think their responses must be? They might just sit down and do nothing. You are crazy. They have families to go back to. Them and them have families to go back to. They don't know what got you coming. So they are going to respond. But anyways, I haven't read the article. I did see the story somewhere. And it was just a very short writing of robber attempts to rob a Mpumalanga church and ended up losing his life. So I'm not sure exactly. I just saw the article posted here. So I thought, let me read it from there on Real Gazette. It's the Reality Show. We do daily Christian commentary videos. Other episodes done today, they'll be down in the pinned comments, and I'm going to check you out over there. As I said, I haven't read the article. So let's pop it up here. And this is what it says. Chaos at a prayer gathering as armed suspects stormed church in Kwafontein and was met. It was meant to be a peaceful prayer gathering, and yeah, you can see it was actually on a Friday, so likely their midweek prayer meeting and so forth. On the 5th of September, ended up in chaos as armed suspects stormed into the church during a service. According to reports, the suspects allegedly pointed guns at congregants demanding valuables, cell phones, wallets, whatever. A confrontation broke out when some worshippers resisted, one of the suspects identified as this man was overpowered by the congregants and fatally shot. So looks like they fought with him, they scrabbled with him over his weapon with his own firearm. And during the struggle, so he got shot during that struggle, and it was a fatal shot, as they say there. He said the 2 worshippers sustained serious injuries and were rushed to the hospital. And we do hope that they do recover. People have homes to go back to. People have families that they have to go back to. So they will respond. The 2 worshippers sustained injuries. Mpumalanga police spokesperson confirmed the incident, saying that police have opened an attempted unlawful possession of a firearm, I'm guessing on the people that broke in, and inquiry proceedings, and we commend the bravery of the congregants, but we urge communities to prioritize safety and so forth. The police will show up an hour later, so people are going to find, how am I getting back to my family? That kind of thing comes up, and them being the ones that have the guns. And I mean, like a church, when a person goes up to a church, it's intentional. They know people are going to have valuables over there. It's intentional. It's targeting the people that are weak in that particular thing. So they will respond because they want to go back home. They want to go back home. They want to go back to their families. And so they don't ascribe. They're not donating. Man's not donating. Like I said, there was the story of the Nigerian pastor, and I saw social media people just saying all kinds of things concerning it. What is the pastor doing with what looked like a farm, whether it was confirmed to be a farm or whatnot. I didn't follow the story. I'm like, he's in Nigeria. There's a lot of kidnappings. There's a lot of all these things. So the pastor must just be without any self-protection. I mean, like the things that people just expect. Pastors are not superhuman. Pastor must be safe, right? He didn't send securities towards the person. He just told them, leave me alone. Now, however the story progressed over there and whatnot, I find it quite weird when a pastor is just leave me alone. We were not there. We don't know if the person had been following him, or whatnot. But they do also deserve their privacy. Paparazzi people. Because that clip, in the particular clip, he's coming up. So for some people, I think they said that he had actually driven back towards the person. Maybe the person had been following him. It will build paranoia and you will respond one way or another. But this type of incidents, we've seen a lot of these incidents where pastors are attacked. I mean, like, these guys get up in there. And I mean, we had that particular thing come a year or so back, if you remember. And that pastor actually did an interview later on. And the gun jammed. And luckily, some people rushed on the guy. In South Africa, we had a situation like that. The pastor didn't make it because this guy came into their thing. And so it's getting to that point where people will respond. And it's very intentional with most of these criminals at the end of the day. It's very intentional because they know that when they get to the church, there's likely no protection in that particular church. They case out the churches and target those particular churches in specific. So it is sad, definitely. But at that moment, what would you have rather the person think, or the people there think? Just get robbed. What? Because in a situation like that, what would you want them to be thinking? They are in danger. They are the ones. What would you that must happen? They at that point feel responsible for everybody else inside there, whether it be the women or the kids. When you choose to traumatize their thinking, so they responded, and we do pray that they do recover. They didn't name the church here. They only spoke about the incident. And even in other articles, I didn't see an article that actually speak about what church it is. And so we don't know at the moment. So maybe they'll have clarity later. They'll give us an update whether they're out or what it is. And so just wanted to give you a thing in case you never saw that particular thing. And in the beginning of the articles, it actually says suspects. And also it does say that investigations are underway to trace the suspects who fled the scene. So he didn't come alone. And by identifying who he is, They might be able to identify maybe cell phone, what, find the others whom he was with, and they would face the law for that. So if they do give an update on this particular story, I'll definitely give it. If you do know what church that was, y'all can tell us, and I'll give an update on that. It's Rick Show with the daily Christian commentary videos. Other episodes down today, they'll be down in the pinned comment. Life has value. Life has value. I wouldn't put another person in a position which I myself would be uncomfortable in, where they feel I'm at their mercy.